on there, YouTube? We're here with another Buddahcast, and this one isn't a fun topic. It's not a happy topic. It's
something that should be talked about.
Definitely something that needs to be discussed. It's definitely something that affects, especially now with the population growing, it affects more and more people every single day.
Today's episode is about suicide. We want to talk about what happens to a person when they decide they want to end their life. In my opinion, suicide is like giving up. You've already failed at so much in life. There's got to be something that you can succeed in. You just got to keep trying and progressing towards that. Sometimes your failures make you succumb to the thoughts of suicide. But I believe suicide is the ultimate failure. I believe that suicide is giving up. And it's not only are you destroying yourself, but you're destroying the people around you who care about you. And they have to face your other loved ones after you're gone. And they have to be in remorse because of the decision that you made. Suicide is a selfish act because even though you might feel helpless, there are people out there that still believe in you. And if you don't have anybody in your life like that, then you have to find people who are willing to be a part of your life. Maybe you need to make a change in your environment. Maybe you need to move out of the state you live in.
You need to find positive supporters in your life.
And exactly.
You don't need people who are going to be sitting there putting you down all the time, or sitting there making you feel like you're nothing just because they don't feel good about themselves, or even just fucking random bullies online. They're not worth taking your life over. No one's worth taking your life over. No one in the world is worth that. You have an amazing life you can make out of it, and I do tend to agree. It's like we were having a small discussion about this before, and it was a phrase that was always told to me when I had my own issues with this back when I was about 14 years old. Things just started going downhill for me, and no, I'm not going to fully talk about it to you, but that's my personal issue. But it came down to where I attempted suicide, and I failed, obviously. Yeah.
Fortunately.
You failed at failing, which is succeeding.
And I got help from that. And I have been severely depressed before, but ever since that failure at failing, as you put it, ever since that failure, I haven't had the urge to actually take my own life. It's not worth it. There's so much more to live for.
You're right. And the true meaning behind living like every moment is your last is only known to the people who actually
felt like they're in their last moment.
Exactly. And even though you went through some difficult stuff,
I think that
after that happened, the way I look at it, I'm not specifically saying that you might look at it this way, but I believe that you failing to kill yourself is a success. You know what I mean? because giving up is not the answer. Paying the price of the ultimate failure is not the answer. We're all gonna die someday, yeah.
That's the only thing we're really guaranteed in life.
But suicide shouldn't be a solution. It's not a solution.
It's a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Exactly. And those problems are gonna come back at you in one way or the other with whatever you believe happens in the afterlife. If you reincarnate, it's gonna come back. Your energy is still transferred somewhere after you die. And all of your experiences and your memories are recorded into an invisible database. This is just my theory. But all that's pulled back in to a vessel and who goes through the same experiences, shares the same memories as you do, but tries to figure out how you have another chance. You have another chance to learn from your experiences. What better moment than now? What better place than here? It's up to you. One day you will wake up and you will feel there is something here for you. And even though you might have to search for the purpose,
Oh, you might even have to do it yourself.
you might have
Give your life meaning, because
exactly.
Live your own life.
if you're not around people who will support you and make you happy, then don't think it's something wrong with you. If people who are too self-involved and stuck up and to realize that they have friends around them, and I mean, this isn't like someone going through depression and trying to isolate themselves. This is someone who will literally just they'll gather friends around them and they will just tear them apart every time they come over to their house just because they have someone there to fucking abuse it. I'm going about this from personal experience. It was from me growing up around my older brother. You know, older brothers, you tend to look for, I guess the word would be validation from them because they're the older sibling and supposed to be smarter. I remember a lot of it was because of my older brother, but a lot of my depression back then was from my older brother because he decided he needed to take on the whole dad role, and his way of doing that was being physically abusive. But people like that are just going to drag you into a deep hole. You absolutely need to surround yourself with positive people. And I mean, you'll find positive people in every walk of life. Just because they tend to dress a certain way or act a certain way doesn't mean that they are a bad person.
Yes.
And if you're associating yourself with people that don't make, if you associate yourself with people who turn you to that mindset, if they get a kick out of putting you down because you're clumsy, or you're not very smart, or you're just not good enough for any of your so-called friends, I say fuck them all and leave them the hell alone. Go surround yourself with people who actually care for you and
who want to see you succeed.
Exactly. If you're around people who are just going willy-nilly in their life without a clue what they're doing, to be honest, none of us know what we're doing. If you want to change your perspective on life, if you want to get yourself out of this hellhole that you're in right now, and even if you have family members, just like Buddha stated, that if they constantly put you down or beat you or tell you you're stupid or tell you that you're not going to be anything in life, that you're never going to succeed, that you're just going to die alone and poor and...
Whether or not, you don't need that kind of shit in your
No,
life.
you don't. I'm like, and if you ever feel that I know that you know, because some people say that, you know, blood is thicker than water, and no one's going to be there like your family is. And
Yeah, I disagree with that.
Yeah.
I disagree with that for sure.
So I found
It's different for everybody.
I found some friends who were closer to me than my own blood are.
exactly, but that's what I was getting at. That's what I was getting at. If people are, you know, you say blood is thicker than water, but if the same person who says that blood is thicker than water is the one being put down and the one who's being just name called and ridiculed and abused by your family member, by your blood.
Blood shouldn't act that way.
Exactly.
Blood should love unconditionally.
Blood is supposed to
And I
love.
say should, because they are family. Families should look out for each other.
Exactly.
And when your family isn't looking out for you, then that's kind of a red flag to that maybe this isn't the right family. That was one of the issues I was talking about with my older brother. He always had good intentions and wanted me to, you know, he wanted me to be I honestly don't know what the hell he wanted me to be. The only thing that ever made sense that he did was teach me how to fucking stand up for myself and bullies. I got bullied constantly in middle school and high school, and all the bullying stopped when one day I was sitting there waiting for my brother to pick me up from school, and two guys, of course, come up to me. I'm the big kid, they have to fucking test me. And I finally lashed out. I was sitting at the top of the bleachers, and I fucking shoved their asses down the bleachers. I mean, violence isn't the answer, but sometimes it's the only thing that bullies will fucking understand.
You gotta know how to defend yourself in this world. You really do.
Yeah, you do.
Even if you can't defend yourself, I mean, there's ways to defend yourself. Even if that is reaching out for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Never be afraid to ask for help.
Even if it's a teacher, even if everybody picks on you after, you know, that you went to a teacher or a principal, you've got to do what is best for you. And I'm gonna comment on what you both were saying about how you gotta surround yourself with good people. That's a huge part with suicidal thoughts and depression as well. Being surrounded by positivity helps out so much because it gives you something to live for. The people that you surround yourself with is a huge part of how you cope with whatever it is that is bothering you. If you're gonna keep surrounding yourself with drug addicts, you're gonna keep doing drugs. If you're gonna surround yourself with alcoholics, you're gonna keep doing alcohol. Okay, if you're an alcoholic, if you're a drug addict, I'm not saying you are, but that's just an example.
You surround yourself with bullies and abusers, you're gonna either end up becoming one or end up
being abused,
and becoming
it goes hand in hand with
becoming a
everything.
fucking stereotype.
If you apply yourself, you can find positive people. It doesn't matter where you are. You can find positive people and befriend them. All it takes is a little bit of shove. Poke to the ass, you know what I mean?
Quick kick in the ass.
Just go for it. Go for it.
And I mean,
And sometimes you gotta stand up and
sometimes it is
scream.
difficult. I know this from being the fucking hermit that I am. it's difficult to make that first fucking step into actually asking for help. And once you do, doors open like fucking crazy, and you'll notice that you have more people to support you in your life than you thought. A lot more people.
Yes.
Even people that you hardly know. There are people who care about you who don't know anything about you.
Exactly.
And to people who don't like to associate themselves with new people, who say
Y'all are twat waffles. Sorry.
not what I was gonna get to say. To the people who don't like to associate themselves with new people, who don't like meeting new people, or stick to the tried and true. Sometimes they're not so true. Sometimes you have to expand yourself in order to gain a new perspective on life and figure out if you find that the people that are in your life currently are people, if you figure out that they're not really the ones that want to see you succeed and help you get through whatever it is you may be going through, if they don't want to talk to you about, if they don't want to help you talk through your problems,
Or you're gonna acknowledge that you're reaching out for help in the first place.
exactly. And they just brush it off as if nothing's going on, or as if they don't care, you can find another route.
Even if it's a spouse or somebody that's bringing negative energy into your life, if you're in an abusive relationship and you feel like you want to just kill yourself to get out of this relationship, trust me, that is not the way to go.
You need to exit the relationship. If
That
that's the
relationship is
fucking-
so
if that's
toxic.
qualified.
That relationship has become so toxic that it's poisoned your mind into believing that you shouldn't be here. You know what? Everybody deserves a chance. Who is it that whose responsibility is it to take that away from you? Whose right is it to take away your freedom, your happiness? It's not. Everything is within your power. You just got to make it happen. There will be those that fail, and there will be those that succeed. Which one do you want to be? You have to ask yourself this every day. Wake up and tell yourself something that is truly meaningful to you. Something that will keep you going. A reason, a purpose to exist.
And there are people out there who are willing to help you.
And if you can't find the purpose, then make one.
If you can't find a reason, give yourself a reason to live and succeed. Give yourself a reason to wake up every day and say, I got this.
The best way to achieve happiness is to help others. And so if you can help others with what you struggle with what you go through, that's a true calling. If you want to help children who are handicapped, who are unfortunate, more unfortunate than others, then that's a great thing for happiness.
And that gives your life purpose. It gives your life meaning. That gives you something to hold on to.
That's all it really is.
That's really all you do is just find that thing that you can hold on to.
It's 45% the people you hang out with, 45% having a purpose, and the rest of the 10%, the rest of the 10% is everything else that brings happiness to your life. Now remember, there's going to be some stuff that we're going to link
Yeah,
in
there's gonna
the
be
video and the description.
there's gonna be numbers for suicide help hotlines, suicide prevention hotlines for families who don't know how to deal with it. If you have suffered from someone who has taken their own life, there will be hotlines to help you through that as well.
Yes.
If you need help, definitely talk to some therapists, counselors, talk to your doctor, and it's always, always, always important to get help for it.
The only thing we should, even if it's not true, even if it's not
What?
the act itself, but suicidal ideation, like different types of suicidal ideation.
What?
Like different types of suicidal ideation. Like when people suicidal thoughts. Like thoughts of suicide. But
I kind of want to avoid especially the thoughts that, because people who are suicidal know the thought process. They know what's going through their head, and I obviously don't want to put those thoughts into someone else's head. And it's not to ignore it either. It's for the simple fact that there are people who feel that way and want to find a way out, and I am not going to give them their way out. I would feel fucking horrible for that, especially since I'm here trying to help. But there are people who, the volunteers who work like the suicide help hotlines and the suicide support groups for people who have suffered from family members or friends who have gone through suicide. And I am literally going to spend most of my editing process finding these numbers so I can give you every possible link that I can for help. And I mean, hell, sometimes I like talking to people too. Sometimes, I mean, find someone to talk to. So find someone who's willing to listen. Find someone who's willing to even just give a few supporting words if that's all they're capable of giving. Just find someone.
If you or someone you know experiences or is experiencing suicidal thoughts, do your best to find a solution in a positive manner.
Even if it is just giving them as much support as possible, because that is a lot of what they need. They need support from people who love and care
Somebody
about
who
them.
will listen, somebody who will care.
Someone who will give you a goddamn hug.
come here.
Oh, how very loud that's being.
That was it.
So, we are definitely going to call this, we might go over this topic one more time if we have the ability to, but all those numbers, all the links will be down in the description. They will also be posted on the screen. Well, actually, they should have already been posted on the screen. If you didn't see it, then, well, too bad. So, if you guys like that episode and you want to see more of these Buddahcast discussions, tell me down in the comments and like the video. And as always, everyone, live very metal.